Hello and welcome to the channel. Today let's try to solve one of my favorite lead code style questions, and that one is find median from data stream. Usually if we talk about these algo style questions in the interviews, I'm not a huge fan of those, in particular when there is some nasty trick that you need to know or some rather complex or nasty math that you need to do to solve the problem. I usually struggle with those, but sometimes the solution is just really clever and really nice. And also, once you understand the idea how to do that, is basically kind of like a trivial once you know the idea. And in this case, we're going to use a data structure called min heap. There's also a max heap there with the opposite property, and just those heaps is the only thing you need to know to solve this problem. It's not about implementing the heap from the scratch. It's more about how you use heap, how you utilize heap to make this solution efficient. So first of all, what are heaps, right? And basically heaps is the flavor of a binary tree. So it's like a complete binary tree. That means on each level except the last one, where you have the leaves, every level should be filled. And then a min property or max property should be true for each node. That basically means for the min heap that the current node I, the value of that node, should be less or equal to the values of its children. So if you think about that, that basically means that in the root of the tree, we have the minimal element from the entire data structure. And we basically can get it with like constant time of 1 from the top of the tree, from the root of the tree. That's for min heap. If you swap the conditions, say that node value should be greater or equal to the children values, that will be the max heap, the opposite one. Same properties. And common operations like insertion is or removing the minimal element is quite simple as well. So basically add your new element to the end of the list, end of the list of leaves of the tree, and then now you have this property probably violated. So this value could be greater than the parent or less than the parent, depends on the type of the heap using. So we need to do a bubbling up of that element until the heap is in good shape, right? And basically we get this element and trying to move it up from the tree, comparing the parents and children. And the height of the tree is log n. That's why insert is log n as well. So that's about heaps. So what we're going to solve is this find median from data streams, and it goes like this. So the median of that we're interested in is the middle value of an ordered list of integers. So for example, if we have array 2, 3, 4, the median is 3. In case we have an array with even number of elements, the median is an average of 2 mid elements. So in this case, we have 2 plus 3 divided by 2, which is 2.5. But also, if we have an array like this, and some value here, like 10, the median is still the same because these are 2 mid elements that we want to use in this formula. So if we had an array, like a static array that we know and we need to find the median, one way of doing that is basically sort that and then just get the mid element or 2 mid elements. But what if we have a stream of data? So in this case, the input will be something like this, right? So we have our collection here, our class or whatever, to find median. It will have some state internally, and then we can call add number, and then find median, right? And at this point, it should return 1.5, and then we add an extra element, and then median changes. So we have a constant kind of like flow of integers inside our system, and we need to be able to calculate the median in efficient way. So what we're doing with our heaps in this case, right? And let's solve a simple problem, right? Let's say we have 2 parts of our data that we received, like all the numbers are added and they placed in two collections, left and right. And let's say we have we can get the max element from the left collection and the mean value from the right collection. And in that case, returning the median value is simple, right? So the algorithm will be this: if both parts are empty, by convention we'll just return nil, so there is no median element. But if one of the collection is bigger than the other one, that basically means that we have a total number of elements uneven, so we can just get this peak element from the biggest collection, biggest part, left and right. And then if the opposite is true, we just if the sizes of these two parts is equal, we just basically have to get the biggest element from the left one, the smallest element from the right one, and just get the average from that. So let's implement just this bit for now, and I can get this doc, and here in find median, let's put what we're planning to do. So we have our conditions here. Let's start implementing that. So let's first open the let block, and we can do stuff like left size will be dot size from left, and then right size will be size from right. And also let's do peak of left here, and right will be peak of right. So we want these values to be double, so I'll just tend to do the double conversion here, just to make sure that we always have the double as the result of our operation. But in this case, if this returns nil, if our like left or right is empty, this double on nil will throw an exception, I believe. So let's create a simple peak function that will do get the heap, and then we can do a conditional threading. So let's say sum heap, and we do peak, and then we convert it to double. In this case, if this returns nil, this won't be called, and we will have the nil value right here. So in that case, we can now use our new peak function that we just defined in the same let block to get the value from left and to get the value from right in a safe way. And after that, we want a condition. The first one will be if ls and left and right size are both nil, 0, we return nil by convention. And then if left size is bigger than right size, we return the left value. If right size is bigger than left size, we return the right value, or else we do some math. Then we will need to do plus L and left and right divided by 2. So that's our get median function. I believe that's all we need. And now add number, right? And I also created some instructions for us that what we want to do here in add number. So if left heap is empty, we add the value to the left heap. If the peak of the left heap is bigger than number, we still want to add it to the left heap. In opposite case, we want to add it to the right heap. But here's the trick. After we added a value, it could cause the imbalance. We always want to keep those heap sizes equal or at one item bigger. So the difference between sizes should not be greater than 1. If that's not true, we cannot rely on code like this. So let's try doing that. So first of all, let's split it in two parts. The first one, we want to just insert the element to left or right. And after that, we want to balance heaps. So here, let's say if, and we want or condition, if is empty left, or so we want the number smaller than peak number to go into the left heap. So if num is less than peak left, that's our second condition. In that case, we want to offer, which is like a method to add element into the heap, offer left num or offer right num. And that's we're done with inserting the value in one of the heaps. So now we want to check if sizes of the heaps are the difference between sizes of the heaps is more than 1. So let's do our same as we've done here, left size and right size. And here we can do condition if left size minus right size is more than 1. That's the first condition, and the second one will be the opposite. Right size minus left size is more than 1. In this case, we want to offer. So we want to get an element from the left heap and put it into the right heap in this case. So we're offering to right, but we pulling from left like this. And in opposite case, we want to do the same but in reverse. So we offering to left and getting it from the right. And I think that's all we need. So if I reload my REPL and I have a failing test here, and if I run it, we now have a correct solution. So the test could be could cover more cases, but basically works on this basic example. And one thing I wanted to mention here is that in this solution, obviously it wasn't pure functional programming, right? So we have a mutable collection, we have mutable state inside here. So it's kind of like a hacky way to emulate a class in Java when you encapsulate state and functions and methods. Usually it's not a good code in Clojure, but at the same time you see how flexible it could be if you need to write something like this. this median finder is a function, but if you call it, it will give you some kind of a map as a result, and these keys in the map will represent methods, right? So, and here we have a let that's defined inside our function, but as we have access to the instance of the result, these functions that we have here have a direct access to this state still, because like it's called like a Clojure, right? With S, like the Clojure thing. So we define this state and then we return these functions, but we kind of like in memory still can access those queues that we defined here. And yeah, as you can see how I use it here, I'm creating this median finder by calling the function. As the result, I'm getting this map, and then I can just destructure it to these keys. And these keys are not values, there's basically functions that I can call. And if I call them, add number, for example, it will mutate this internal state right here. The other way to write this obviously is to have like this state separately as like an atom or something, or just queues, like a def queue in the namespace, and then have functions to work with that. In that case, our namespace will basically hold some kind of state. That's the other way of doing it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll post this code snippet as a gist probably, so you can check it out. Please like, subscribe, and leave comments, and see you next video. Bye bye.